Killzone has always followed a somewhat tumultuous path. The PlayStation 2 original aimed high but under-delivered, and while the sequel was set to both herald an heir to the PlayStation 3's greatness, there are those that would contest those claims. Now, Shadowfall is here to debut alongside the PlayStation 4. Is this latest Killzone scion, saint, sinner, or system seller? Taking on the mantle of a Shadow Marshal makes for a different game and a different Killzone.
Suspects are holed up in the room below. Ready to breach through the pool skylight on your go. We can breach right now or find another entry point.
The ongoing hostility between the Helghast and ISA has gone cold for the most part. The Helghast have vacated their planet, now in a radiated sphere. Its pale people are uneasy refugees taking harbor on their enemy's planet of Vecta. Decades have passed with the groups divided from each other in a manner reminiscent of the Berlin Wall. The threat of all-out aggression lingers in the periphery as your own covert operations take you behind enemy lines to derelict space stations, deep cover, and to the epicenter of a terrorist attack. But you're no army grunt this time around. While you won't always be fighting alone, there's a pronounced lone wolf vibe. A glacial intro peels away to leave you only with a knife in your hand and a CEO yammering in your ear. Soon, the story sparks and the game opens up, throwing you your standard gun with an alternate fire mode that allows you to charge a powerful shot for mid-range sniping or shotgun annihilation. Enemy guns and grenades round out a standard arsenal. Your tradecraft also includes operating a robotic drone called an owl that can give cover fire and offer up a shield for you or a stunning shock for your foes. All of the owl's abilities are accessed by a quick swipe of the touchpad, including a zip line that allows you to rush down to lower ground to close in on your objectives. But wait, the owl can actually do even more. The little droid can hack mainframes and alarms while you hold off foes, and even revive you after you've fallen with a shot of adrenaline. The same adrenaline shots can be self-administered while you're still standing, healing, and creating a slow-mo bullet time effect when you aim down your sights. A Shadow Marshal is also equipped with an impressive radar system, marking enemies and munitions through walls. This is triggered by holding right on the D-pad, and early on we found ourselves accidentally pressing up as well, conjuring waypoints in the objective menu. This control quirk was a little annoying, but we found ourselves adjusting to more precise button presses by mid-game. The owl, the slow-mo, the radar, and even the flexibility of your basic gun make this new Killzone feel more fluid than this series has in the past. This fact is well illustrated in the game's first true level set within an open forest. You can zipline to a vantage point, then flush out the Helghast while your owl disables an alarm that would bring in enemy reinforcements before scanning the area to reveal the next threat. It's a blunt, wonderful example of dynamic first-person combat. There are limits to your freedom, however, so forget about wading into the shallow water and don't bother questioning why you can't zipline in particular spots. The Helghast are capable marksmen, but they're not the smartest bunch, and your extended arsenal allows a powerful edge by letting you scan for danger and act appropriately. The safety net provided by adrenaline lets you get through with a more aggressive or perhaps somewhat careless battle plan, but you'll still need to stay on your toes. Brutally effective melee kills which reward stealth and positioning are the final piece of an extended toolkit that allows a varied approach without overwhelming complexity. Killzone is still about making sure your reticule is hovering over the bad guy, it's just more interesting in getting there.
Some kind of X. There's too many failsafes in place. People are dying!
The game's later levels work to pack in story secrets and spectacle to create impressive moments. It's a varied and capable campaign, but only rarely does it match the genius of the forest. There are some clever distractions and some outright duds, especially in the latter half of the campaign. Still, even the most straightforward missions offer up tactical options and hidden rewards, and the game's use of sub-objectives that you can tackle in any order helps sustain a certain sense of autonomy. There are times when the structure and interface make it unclear what exactly the game wants you to be doing, but it's worth finding your way through. We've already mentioned the flickable owl selection and the questionable D-pad, but the DualShock 4 has more mutations to flaunt. The controller light broadcasts your health status if you care to look down, and the built-in speaker broadcasts audio diaries. These aren't much more than novelties, but the analog sticks do a tremendous job, highlighted most in Shadowfall's multiplayer, where significant recoil and a lack of auto-aim reward agile thumbs. The PlayStation 4 itself brings a multitude of sets to life, from sun rays figuratively cutting through trees, to much stronger sun rays literally cutting through soldiers as a space station races towards a star. The beautiful next-gen swagger is subtle, but it's definitely there. Killzone's multiplayer feels as if it's been broken down and built up again into a sleeker beast. An offline mode with bots acts as a combat lab, offering a surprising amount of options to fiddle with, along with access to the various weapons, maps, game types, and abilities. Gone are some of the undeniably fun, flashy bits of Killzone 3, like jetpacks and exosuits, resulting in more grounded and refined team battles. The Warzone mode prevails, with constantly changing objectives leading to lengthy, dynamic, and satisfying matches. There are a few new game types added in as well. They're nothing special on their own, but they succeed in mixing up the tactical teamwork. In this age of kill streaks, vehicles, and unlocks, it's interesting to see Shadowfall take a step back. All the weapons, the 3 classes, and their abilities are unlocked from the beginning. And while kills and acts of valor will get you on the scoreboard, those aren't experience points you're earning. The few unlocks are accessed by completing various challenges, powering up your abilities, and unlocking gun attachments. These bonuses aren't inconsequential, but your success on the battlefield won't depend on them either. Killzone Shadowfall ultimately encompasses a big, twisting world of multiplayer supporting a multitude of playstyles and scenarios. A Warzone might switch to a point-control objective, so you might select a more suitable weapon and grab the ability that lets you set up a spawn point near the control area. The initial versatility is staggering, but barring a few quizzical ability icons, it's not too hard to find your footing. What may be slightly overwhelming is the broad swath of options you have for making your own game types. The restrictions make the map, and the best are promised to be promoted through the game's social channels. A terse, one-life, sniper versus sniper deathmatch might make you see a particular map or skill in a whole new light. On the downside, it can take a while to learn to differentiate friend from foe, even with wall-penetrating radar. Fortunately, friendly fire is off by default. The other sore point was death animations. You'll come to expect fallen soldiers to be revived, so it's easy to waste an extra clip on a falling fool or would-be, should-be corpse. Guerrilla Games needs to recognize that it's not plot points and politics that move its games, but the bullets and guns. If the campaign could take a step back from the spectacle to focus on core concepts and feedback loops, the qualities that make the multiplayer suite so flexible and entertaining could make the campaign even stronger. Killzone Shadowfall is easy to recommend as a launch title, and it's also a fantastic shooter on its own merits, regardless of hardware or history.
Forged in the fires of hell, and this is our
Lad Coates here.
day.
Find him! We're working on it, sir.
Brave